right, you guys, we've done linear, we've done quadratic, and we're going to answer the same exact questions, and they're going to have the same answers for any type of function. We're going to answer the same ones for absolute value. Okay, and those are the three that we're going to work with for this one. So let's put absolute value here. Okay, I'm not going to remake you write the questions, but again, you will have to rewrite the answers, or at least an example of the answer. So what does the absolute value function looks like? It looks like a V here. This is our parent function for the absolute value. It's just the X inside of the two bars, and it's under the math button if you're working on the TI calculator. Okay, so let's just go through one at a time, okay? If we want to move this function down to, we put that on the outside. Moving vertically, shifting vertically goes on the outside of what's happening with the function. So if I want to move it down to, the new green line is going to be right there, right on the outside of that absolute value sign. If I want to move it horizontally, it's going to be on the inside. If I want to move it right horizontally, it's going to be on the inside of that sign, right? So y equals my absolute value bars x. Now to the right is the opposite if you're moving horizontally. So if I do -5, okay, so I think that's supposed to be a different color orange, but this just moved it to the right 5. Now what if I wanted to do a color that moved it both to the right and down? You could do that. I can just take this x -5 on the inside of the bars and then subtract 2 on the outside of the bars, and boom, it's done that. Okay. If I want to make it taller and skinnier, let's just work on that last one. If I want to make it taller and skinnier, I'm going to, let's get rid of these, multiply it by a number bigger than 1. So if I multiply it by 5, taller and skinnier. If I want to make it shorter and fatter, I multiply it by a number, right, smaller than 1. So if I can do 0.2 is the same as 1/5. If I want to flip it over that x-axis, I'm going to, right, put a negative on the outside. Okay, and I'm going to talk about something that will also work with everything, but this is actually the first video that I've said something on. Okay, and so I'm going to take this negative away on the outside, so I have that one back. What happens if I just make the x negative on the inside of the function? It looks like it just moved it over, but what's happening actually is, instead of flipping it up or down, I'm actually flipping it, why don't I just put them both back? I'm flipping it across the y-axis. So the negative on the outside flips it up or down across the x-axis. The negative on the inside, and it works for everything, flips it across the y-axis. So let's put the other one back. So y equals absolute value x -5 and then -2. Okay, so what's happened is, if you look at the y-axis right here and you folded it there, they would meet up because we've basically just, we have symmetry across the y. If you put it on the outside, you have symmetry, it flips it up and down, you have symmetry across the x-axis. Okay, so one more little thing to think about. We will make sure we have everything written down correctly. We'll go over it together as a class, and we'll do some more practice problems.